Hey everybody, it's Celeborn again, and I am back to do another review. Obviously this is going to be over the Marielle Tarot, and this is by Marie White. When you get this, it is a magnetic box, a very good box. It is by Schiffer. It's published by Schiffer, and when you open it up, this is what you see. And it's the Landscapes of the Abyss. So when you first open this, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see your book here, which, if you get the Marielle, this is a combination of Marcel, the Tarot, or the Marcel, or Marseille, the Thoth, and the Rider-Waite. So it's a combination of all of them. It does have full size or large pictures, not color, but it does give you a lot of information on each of the cards, not just like here's the Five of Cups, and it does go in order, like Five of Cups, Five of Discs, and then Six of Wands, Six of Swords, Six of Cups, Six of Discs, so on and so forth. So it's a little bit different layout than the actual normal books are. This is the back of the deck. So it is reversible, very simplistic, very beautiful backing. The one thing that I don't like is you actually have to tip this forward to get these buggers out. So anyway, I'll close this up. So this back here is a backdrop, and so yeah, I did go ahead and actually edge these. They were white, and I've gone through and edged them with black. I think it just makes them a sexier deck, but yeah. These I do use kind of on and off. I'm just going to go through a few of them, not all of them. Beware though, there is some nudity in these, so if you don't like nudity or you have children watching, be aware of it. So here's the Queen of Discs. I'll just kind of zoom in if I can. Let's just stand this up a little bit and see if we can get some of this glare off there. We'll just turn on this way. There we go. So Queen of Discs. Very beautiful card. Here is the Ace of Swords. Now these do have a black border around them, and they are a little on the creepish side sometimes. Like here's the King of Swords. And to get a full handle, I mean, if you're doing, for instance, like I do Intuitive Tarot, it is definitely a deck that is going to kind of take on a roller coaster ride when it comes to to looking at them. Let's see here. Like here's the Two of Wands. Beautiful card. I do like this one. This is the Two of Discs. This reminds me of a very earth-bound card. It makes me feel as though that it's not really a choice or a decision or a juggling of things that has to be done. This makes me feel as though that it's time to kind of, you know, pay the piper, and you're going to have to make decisions that are, it is a decision card, but it's kind of a, do you want to move forward or do you want to stay kind of stuck in limbo? Because you have your money here that's going to help you move forward. Otherwise, if you choose not to use it, you're not going to go anywhere. Just the interpretation that I have of that. Here is, let's see if I can, this is not the best of ways to do this, but whatever. Here is the Wheel of Fortune nudity. Here's the Emperor. This one's a beautiful card. The Five of Swords. The Three of Wands. This one has this is the Lover's card. This one also has an African American female in it. Brighten that up a little bit for you. Now here's one. Most of the aces are actually hermaphrodites, which I thought was kind of interesting whenever I was looking through it. It was just kind of a different feel when it came to new beginnings and changes and things that are going to happen. Here is the Chariot. Now this is the oddest looking Hierophant ever, I swear. Let's see if I can get this to focus a little bit better. This is kind of like a feeling of conforming, like forcing of conforming to a certain thing. Here is the Ace of Cups. And this one to me makes me feel more of the Devil card than anything. This is the Nine of Discs. I'm stacking these upright. And anyway, this is the Nine of Discs. And of course, it's going to shine. These are very glossy. I actually am going to take and well, I call it powdering, but I'm not going to powder. I use incense that I've burned, and I coat the cards in it so that they are easily moved. They move easily. Here's the World card, more nudity. Very pretty card, though. And more nudity. This is the Fool card. Very pretty card, though. The Three of Cups. This is very... You can you get the sense of Three of Cups in this one. And this is a very beefy deck, too. It's very large. Here is the Ace of Discs, again another hermaphrodite. It's also they said not necessarily just to be hermaphrodites, but also a mix between creatures. The Ten of Swords. And a lot of these cards, they actually, as you go along, I mean, there's not a lot to decipher what they actually are as far as the discs and things like that. So it's not one that you could really cut all the border off if you're going to deborder it and make it a smaller size deck. You would need to keep something on here so that you knew what it is, because like here's the Six of Discs, and without the actual knowing or the name at the bottom, it'd be very hard to interpret exactly what the card was. Now I'll save this one until I find the next one. This is an interesting one. This is actually the Queen of Swords, depicted by a couple of ravens here and an eye. Actually, it looks more like one raven with two heads. But like I said, it's a very different deck. Here's the Hermit. Very beautiful colors in it. Now this one actually does have the 10 of discs. It's got the symbology of the Kabbalah at the bottom, you can see. But it doesn't have 10 of them, so I say it's got 10 of them, but it's only got, what is that, 7? 4 of Wands. This is, you can see the fire and the trees, so that gives you the representation of wands. You just don't have anything to depict how many wands it is, so it's very hard to look at, but there's a lot of things that are going on in these pictures. Now this here, I'll show you these together. This is the Sun card and the Moon card, and they are essentially just back to back. So here's the Sun card and then the Moon card. So it's just like complete opposites of each other. Not like actual opposites, but just difference in the colors and the things like that. Here's the Two of Cups, represented by 2 unicorns. The Three of Swords, this one does have 3 swords in it, or actually 3 quills, pens, I guess I should say. And if you look in the clouds, there's a face in the clouds. This is the High Priestess, and when looking at this, you get the pregnancy and everything, but then there's also where she's becoming part of the earth at this point, and there's just growth that's happening all around her and is becoming part of her. Now this one's kind of interesting. This is the Page of Discs. It is actually a baby. It's a baby. It's depicted by an actual child for the page, which very beautiful, ornate looking card. Cute little booties. Now this one's death. I mean, this is just a complete and utter depiction of death. It is the decay, but there's growth that's happening from this. There's a transformation from the death over into life. It's showing you the person that's decaying there, and then you see the life that's growing off of this person that has passed away. So this to me is a very good depiction of the form of the death card, which to me is a transition or a vessel to a different aspect of life. Okay, so this is the Star card. A little different than the normal star. It looks like as though she is the star. You see the clouds around her. It just feels like a very powerful card, as though the person that's in this card is the star themselves. They've consumed and became what the star is. Here's the Empress. This is an okay Empress to me. I mean, I've seen some better ones. I do like it. It's not horrible, but it just seems kind of out of place for the rest of the cards. This is the Eight of Swords, which, as everybody kind of depicts, it is kind of like the swords are kind of like a gate that keeps you out of, or keeps you away from where you're trying to go, and this definitely depicts that. And it actually has the 8 different rungs in the gate here, and so it's keeping you from going where you need to go or where you want to go. This is the Page of Swords, so completely different from the Page of Coins. The Magician, this is a very different take on the Magician. The Magician actually has this very geometrical shape in the center, is in the water. It does have the infinity symbol above its head, but you really don't see all the tools that you would normally see. You do see, however, earth with the trees, the fire being the sun, the water being the water, and the air being the clouds. They're in this. You just have to decipher the difference between everything that's going on in this picture. So it's not very Rider-Waite-ish, to say the least. Here's the Hangman. This is actually a very pretty card, but a very different card. And I really don't get this as being a male. The body structure looks as though it's male. The anatomy looks as though it's female, other than the breast area where you can't see. But it's a very beautiful card. It's definitely got a lot of depth to it. Let's see. Okay, so here's a different depiction of Temperance. So the Temperance is, in this one, is depicted by a lion that is within this raging ocean and is setting forth to accomplish whatever it's trying to accomplish, or to catch or gather something that it's trying to reach. But it's not staying still. It's not allowing the water or the different elements to stop it, so to speak. It's got this very strong essence to it. Now this is the Tower. This is a very, very in-depth depiction of the Tower. It is very dark. It is very gloomy. There seems to be a person here down this corner. Let's see if it'll adjust. That's on fire. And then there's another person down at the very bottom. It's a very different picture when it comes to the. I mean, you can see the Tower. It just looks like the whole thing is being destructed versus just the tip, like most. It looks like the tip is probably taking the most of the force, but the whole thing is going to collapse. This is another one of my favorites. This is the Seven of Swords, and it does have it almost looks like a crow. It doesn't really resemble a raven to me, but it's got a snake that is starting to coil around it, and it's got an emerald that it's trying to get away with, and it's a very powerful card. Very unique, very different depiction of the Seven of Swords. Let's see here. Okay, so here's a little Egyptian. This is the Egyptian side of the cards. Here's Justice. Very strong, powerful woman there. Here is the Devil. This one is a little different than I've seen the Devil cards be. It is pretty, though, to me, in all of its evil glory. Let's see. So here is the Two of Cups. This is a waterfall that is going into a a well that's looks like it's being protected by this unicorn. And actually, the book, I believe, actually says that it's being protected by this unicorn. But yeah, this is a very beautiful card. It's the Five of Cups. Okay, so then the last one that I'll just look at here, this is the King of Wands. This is definitely a little different as well. There's no wands. This person is, you can tell, a very powerful person, as the emblems that they carry with on their face. But it's also kind of a, it's definitely a different depiction of the King of Wands. It's, the person looks like as though they are conjuring or have conjured something that's very powerful and very demeaning and very demanding of their energy. So it's kind of put this into this kind of stasis setting, is what it feels like to me. But yeah, so this is the King of Wands. But anyway, like I said, this is the Marielle Tarot. If any of you use this and like it, or if you have any questions about it, please feel free to leave comments down below. I'll be more than glad to answer any questions anybody has about it. There's the Knight of Swords. I don't think I showed this one. Anyway, if you have any questions, please leave them down below. I will see you on the next video. Many blessings to you all, and have a great week. Thanks for watching.